It's official. Lewis Hamilton, four-time champion of the world. He's done it. The most successful British driver in history. Official. The stats do not lie. He's a four-time champion. Couldn't have asked for a worse race, but it's official. He's done it. I can't believe it. Where do we start? A dominant weekend for Max, but Lewis Hamilton. I've got to apologise. Dutchies, I'm sorry. Max dominated the race, but Hamilton's going on the thumbnail. I'm sorry. He's world champion. I cannot believe it. Ugh. It was painful to watch, but at the same time, world champion. I can't believe it. I've followed him since 2006 when he was in GP2, and to see where he's come, and it all boils down to one decision. Moving from McLaren to Mercedes was the best decision he ever made. 100%. Let's get into it. The start. We've got to start at the start. Yet again, Sebastian Vettel. We've seen idiotic crash all season, and this is why he's not won the World Championship. We've seen it at Baku. We saw punctures at Silverstone. Incident at Baku. Incident at Sepang on the cool-down lap. Incident at Singapore, crashing on the first lap. I've got it written down here somewhere. Yeah, Seb just keeps getting involved in these clashes. Not on right, free abreast down into turn one. Vettel gives Max the squeeze. Max puts a worldie on him. It was on the limit by both, but just about within the boundaries. And then Max goes down the inside. Vettel hits Max. Max gets lucky that he doesn't get a puncture. And then Lewis gets the cutback on Sebastian. He's ahead of Sebastian, and Sebastian hits Lewis's retard and it punctures. It's lucky because he did the same to Max, but Max got away with it, and it punctured Hamilton's tyres. And Vettel, knowing that he needs to finish second in this race, and he's gone and blown it in turn 3. Basically, Hamilton was champion by turn 3 because Vettel was never getting back to second place, and he blew it. Absolutely blew it. He's gone from hero to zero. World-class lap yesterday, and what does he do? He throws it away in turn 3. And it's poor. It's poor for a four-time world champion. And then Vettel's got a pit for a new front wing. Hamilton's got a puncture. He's got a pit for a new tyre. And it was just basically trying to get in the points. Hamilton, the reason he's winning the World Championship, he's finished every single race in the points. He's finished every single lap this season. The only driver who's finished every single lap. And that is why he's world champions. Seb keeps making stupid mistakes. We'll get on to the race now. After turn 1 it all settled down. And that move by Max, for me, was on the limit. Because it was pretty on the limit. He just kept a tyre within the track limits. And yeah, it was a fantastic move. He's a future world champion. He's a breath of fresh air. As soon as he makes that bold move, he's won the race. I knew there was going to be contact between someone. Correctly, I thought it was going to be between Seb and Max, and Lewis would go through. But actually, they all got caught up in it, but Max got away with it this time, and fair play to him. He's a future world champion. I love Max. He's a fantastic driver. Should have got pole yesterday. Dominates the race. Leads every single lap. What more can you ask for? And at the age of 19, is he 19 or 20? No, he's 19, I think. Or is he 20? I don't know. Leave it in the comments. I forgot. It's been an emotional night. So we got Bottas second. Max wins. Bottas second. Boring race for him, really. Second all race. Raikkonen third. Vettel fourth. Vettel changed his front wing first lap. Gets up to fourth. Good recovery drive, but threw his title chances away in turn 3. And it's not good enough. Ocon, if driver of the day is Max 100%, but if you're giving it to a top 3 team, driver of the day is Ocon. Finishes P5 in the Force India, embarrasses Perez at his home race really. Lands Stroll in P6. He's probably ahead of Massa in the points. He's had a better season than Massa. Massa's an experienced campaigner, and Stroll, he's got a podium, got a great qualifying in Italy. He's outshining the Brazilian. Perez, the home favourite 7th, was catching Stroll at the end, but didn't have enough time. Magnussen 8th, that's a quality drive by kmag. Been coming in for a lot of criticism, but it's world class by kmag, because he's been getting a lot of stick for his dirty driving, including myself criticising him, but that's a great drive. They were last yesterday in qualifying, and they get P8. Well, he gets P8. Hamilton P9, champion of the world, most successful British driver in history. And that's not me taking the piss. He is top 10 of all time. I'll argue with anyone till you're blue in the face. He is top 10 of all time, and he's still got 5 years left at least. How can you argue against it? All-time pole holder, second on all-time wins, and now he's a 4-time world champion. There's only 4 other guys that have got more. Well, you've got Schumacher, who's got 7, Fangio's got 5, Prost, Vettel and Hamilton now have 4. I'm over the moon. I've followed him since GP2, and this is the outcome. He could be a 6-time world champion. He should have won it in his rookie year in 07, but we all know where he lost it, in the gravel trap. Had a massive points lead going into the last 2 races, and the last 2 races were a disaster, and he should have won it last year. I'm going to do a separate video on Lewis Hamilton being the champion, so if you want to watch that, look out for it. Alonso 10th, him and Hamilton have a superb battle. We've got to see more of that in the future. I want to see Hamilton v Max. I want to see Alonso back up the front where he belongs. Massa 11th, Van Dorn 12th, Gasly 13th. Pretty good effort to say he only got 10 laps during practice and qualifying. Verline 14th, Grosjean 15th. And we go down the retirements. Ericsson, and then you've got Renault. Renault are a disgrace at Mexico. The Renault engines are a disgrace. You've got Ricciardo retiring, Hulkenberg, Hartley and Sainz, all Renault engines. Luckily Max actually held up for a change. I was thinking, please God no, he deserves that win for getting robbed of a podium in USA. He deserves that win, Max. He drove superbly, should have been on pole yesterday, led every single lap, dominated the race. I was screaming at my TV when he was setting the fastest laps. He won the race by 20 seconds. There was no need to be setting fastest laps, putting stress on the engine. I think they'll be having a word with him about that at Red Bull, because maybe that's just the young age, but he had tremendous pace, but I was getting a bit worried when he was setting the fastest lap. I've got some notes written down. Vettel, Verstappen touch. Well, Vettel touched Max. Seb and Lewis touch. Lewis puncture. Vettel front wing. And I'm going to call this video probably Race 18 Mexico Hamilton champion. Max domination. Sebastian hero to 0. Alonso v Hamilton. Now that was epic. Vettel. I've slaughtered Vettel in this video, and rightfully so, because what he did on turn 1, too aggressive, no need for it. You've got to finish second or first, and you can blow it in turn 3. But he did clap Lewis Hamilton on the slow down lap, and then Hamilton goes for a massive, he's just done 71 laps in the race, and then he goes for a run round the pit lane, back to his garage. Unbelievable. And Stoffel Van Dorn has had 218 penalties this season. What an absolute farce, and what a joke Honda are. I can't believe it. Leave your comments, I will always reply. But Lewis Hamilton, 4-time champion of the world. A separate video will be coming out for that, just to cover that topic, that he's a 4-time champion. Over the moon, can't believe it. I'm going to go back downstairs and watch all the interviews. But what a race. Well, it wasn't a good race for me actually, it was quite frustrating. If you win in the championship, you want to finish on the podium, but he finished 9th. Vettel blew it, absolutely blew it, bottled it. He did an Arsenal, he bottled it, but the story of the weekend is Hamilton champion, Max domination. That's his best win in my opinion, out of the 3 he's had. Spain, Malaysia, and now this one. That's his best win. Absolutely dominant display. Like, subscribe, watch out for the videos coming out, and leave your comments. Get your comments in about the race. What do you think of Max? What do you think of Lewis being a 4-time champion? What do you think of Sebastian's driving? Who was your driver of the day? Get it in the comments. We'll always reply. And I think I might go for a celebratory drink. Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world once again. Get in there. Boom. Thanks for watching.